Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First of all, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahawashi, Ba'Hashem, Chachadash. We want to give double honors to the elders, the apostles, GMS, and Shalom back there to the whole product, pushing the truth and all sincerity. Right, yeah, back again with another video. Me and brother, we was on the trail, this afternoon, or this morning, and we come across this mausoleum on the trail, and it had had like a like a plaque and description of what it was all about, and it was interesting to read, for the reason why we're doing this video. It made me think about Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14, concerning the beginning of idol worship and stuff, right? Because this mausoleum was created, we're actually getting it for Charles Hope. Right.
Son,
who was the son of Thomas Hope. Now, who the Hopes were, an affluent family, a very affluent family, of Edomites or whatever, right? Most likely Edomites. They owned this land, and they built this mausoleum because his son passed away, and it's like a little temple. That's what it is, right? And so you imagine when because people go visit graves and stuff, right? So the family would come and visit this little temple, this mausoleum, right? And pay their respects or prayers and all this kind of stuff. That's the same as idol worship. They go into this place, congregating and sending prayers and all that kind of stuff, and praying for this, praying for that, whatever. But that's how this whole idol worship from the beginning started. Building things to men and essentially end up worshipping them and creating a miniature version. So when you're not there or can't go there, you could take them with you and do the same thing.
So,
to remember the dead or whatever, right? We're gonna read some of this information, man.
Yep.
And we're gonna get into Wisdom of Solomon 14.
Yep. So this is on the Hope family mausoleum. So the mausoleum was commissioned by the collect and amateur architect Thomas Hope, 1769 to 1831, following the death of his 7-year-old son Charles.
Right. So he's just a baby, essentially a young child, and he passed away. I don't think he mentions that, though, is it?
No, it doesn't.
And this was 17 or 16 something, was it?
Yes, I mean Thomas Hope lived 1769 to 1831.
Okay.
So his son died sometime in between that.
Yeah.
It says later Hope himself was buried there, as were various other family members.
So it became like a family tomb. Yep.
So there are 33 loculi.
And again, the 33 is one of the numbers of the Freemasons, right? All right. So sounds to me an affluent family in this time and era who could build such a thing and owned all this land. Were Masons. By the sounds of things. Because that 33 is a common number that they throw up back there.
That's it.
Yep.
Which goes and say loculi, meaning recesses for coffins. Right. So the last interment was in 1941. Several of the Hope family were members of the Society of Dilettanti. The Dilettanti Society, or Dilettanti, is a society of noblemen and scholars which sponsors the study of ancient Greek and Roman art and the creation of work in this style.
Sounds like Freemasons to me.
Yeah.
Or something of that sort, whether they might be called or going by whatever. Because you always got different sections to these things, right? So they were part of a particular society or whatever, and they was into Greek and Roman architecture, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at this mausoleum, that's what you saw. You saw the Roman and Greek architecture. It said it on the plaque, and that's something that Esau carries with him.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of his signs, because Rome was his empire, Greek was his empire, right?
Yeah.
And that's all here in the modern time. He's brought all that stuff with. That's where you go Mount Seir. Mount Petra, right?
Yeah.
You see all that architecture in the rock, right? It's just something that's them. That's their style. That's their spirit, and they bring that with them, man. And so that's how we know it's part of the signs that to show who Esau is. Okay.
Yep. That's pretty much the point on that.
Yep.
It goes into this, like the renovation and stuff afterwards.
Okay. So this doesn't say everything that, or some things that wasn't on there, but there was on the plaque that showed you images and whatever. There was a part on it, right? And this is why basically that place was to deify the sun, and ultimately the whole family at the end of the day, because they all end up being in there, or whoever ended up being there was in there. There's a space of 33 coffins in there, right? So they intended to have people in there, whether they feel or not, who knows, but but they essentially deified the sun. right? Because in one of the images that was on that plaque, it was an image of a boy, but the description of it was, I think it was like Charles Hope as Bacchus, right? And those who know, right? Bacchus is it a Roman god or Greek god?
I actually got a picture of it. There it is.
Oh, it's there. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just look.
Let's see if you can see
Charles
that.
Hope as Bacchus.
Right, that's the boy there, and it's got it back to front, so you're not gonna be able to read it probably. Yeah. Right, but what it says, Charles Hope, 1810 to 1817. That was when the kid was alive and passed, right? As Bacchus. Now, Bacchus is a Roman or Greek god. I always forget. Yeah, right, of festivity and wine and revelry, right? So that's what the father or whoever decided to portray their son as, even though the child was just 7 years old. You know, it's just weird, right? Because that's all, like, all kinds of Bacchus represents a lot of different things, right? You can find. Find me something.
Bacchus was the Roman god of agriculture, wine, and fertility, equivalent to the Greek god Dionysus.
Right. Okay. So Dionysus was the Greek counterpart, and Bacchus is the Roman counterpart. Is there any information on Bacchus and what they how they used to worship him?
Okay, I can look into that. Dionysus was said to be the last god to join the 12 Olympians. Supposedly, Hestia gave up her seat for him. His plants were vines and twirling ivy. Right, which is actually kind of funny because this area is one of the few areas in the UK that I know is vineyards and stuff like that. So
I saw ivy down there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He carried a pine cone topped staff, and his followers were goat-footed satyrs and Maenads, wild women who danced energetically during his festivals. Bacchus is the son of Jupiter.
Booty shaking.
Yeah. Bacchus was the child of Jupiter and Semele. This is a human whom Juno had tricked into asking to see Jupiter as he really was. I'm trying to see.
None of the festivals are how they would do things with them.
Yeah, it doesn't really. Let me look for another. What do you call it?
Yeah, but these are all idols.
Yeah.
So this is all like essentially make believe in it. But the fact that they made their son equivalent to a Greek, a Roman idol. It's deification, right? And when I first read it, it gave me the idea of the lesson, because that's how idol worship kind of began, with the death of a son, or death of a family member that people wanted to respect or revere, or it might be a great family, because these hopes sound like they were a great affluent family that a lot was going on around them, right?
Yes, sir.
And you might idolize them to some degree. Right, but then that respect becomes something else. It grows into a tradition and customs that span out between your villages might get bigger, and they got this as an idol there, and they worship it here and there. That's how it all began. So this is just an example of that, really.
Yeah. So it says Bacchus was more than just. This is from a matteroftaste.com. Says Bacchus was more than just the god of wine. He was the god of the harvest, caring for orchards and ensuring a bountiful crop each year. He was the god of theatre, encouraging open expression through drama, and perhaps most famously, Bacchus was the god of intoxication, freedom, ecstasy, and fertility.
Freakism,
yeah.
In other words.
Yeah, I was reading that, and I was like, that's basically this world in a nutshell. Right? That's what this world promotes, and if you don't, adhere to that, everyone looks at you funny, which is why the scripture says something to the effect of, they think it weird that you don't come to this right with them.
Yeah. Let me try and think.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Where is that?
In fact, it's actually not too many scriptures. Actually,
no, I've got a brain fucking in me.
Oh yeah, I've got it. This is 1 Peter 4. I'll read from 3. It says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wines, revelings, banqueting, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you.
Yeah, because we're not like them. They think like, why aren't you like us?
Yeah.
everybody's like us, so why ain't you like us,
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
You know, but we're not of the world.
That's it.
We've been taken out of the world, so we don't, you know, participate in the same things the world participate, because that is the same reason the world's being destroyed.
Yeah.
And we don't want no part in that.
Yeah.
You know?
Even on the topic of Bacchus, what was yesterday? Notting Hill Carnival, man.
Yeah.
And the videos and images I was seeing, I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just saw a clip. Obviously, it was all blurred out and stuff, but someone's Ring camera where it was just like a Jade woman. So that part of London has it has several storied houses, but like there's generally like a below street level floor.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
So you go down the stairs to go into the house.
Yeah, the first floor is below street level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then basically you just have this bloody nigger woman, man, just goes out. Here she just finished twerking on some people, goes downstairs, pulls up her knickers and starts pissing. Keeps saying, I'm sorry, and just pisses, you know, in someone's front garden, man. Right, whilst you got a whole load of reveling upstairs. I was like, man, that's nasty.
Yeah, these ain't women, man.
You know, but that's what that whole Bacchus spirit promotes. Just like, you know,
it's madness.
But it goes to say Romans worshipped him by throwing bacchanalia, joyous festivals that celebrated freedom from insecurity, emotional expression, and of course the beautiful buzz of wine. Right, bacchanalia were held in secret out in the countryside, under the cover of darkness, and would often last until the sun came up.
They're having orgies, man.
Yeah, basically.
That's what that is, you know. So these are the type of idols that are getting promoted at it, you know what I'm saying? And obviously that's the spirit that was at the carnival and so on and so forth. It's so that's pushed out here. But like I said, these, you know, that child or his child was put up as Bacchus for some whatever reason. But like I said, it's a deification, making him seem like to be some great thing. He's just an Edomite. You know what I'm saying? He's just an Edomite, you know. But yeah, this unless there's anything else.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if what do you call see, it's funny, but this, if I can say it real quick, later on it says today Bacchus and Bacchanalia are rare, right? But this is it. Esau,
more common than they're making it out.
Exactly. Esau knows what it is, right? Esau knows what it is, but they'll.
It's not fishy going by that title.
It's not going by that title, but he'll push it upon the people to go, because I mean, man, Jake and the like were pissed that they couldn't do Notting Hill Carnival for a few years over the CV.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and this is the thing. Esau make it see, those blacks, but they be hella foreigners joining in, Notting Hill Carnival, because that's that spirit, man.
I say the elites, you know, might do Bacchanalia because they know about it, but you know, they got the other people doing it as well. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. They think they're just having a good time, but they actually participate in these feasts and festivals that, you know, that these men celebrate. You know.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that Esau pushes that's like that. It says Psalms 96 from 4 says, for the Lord Yahweh is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens. Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. Give unto Yahweh, all ye kindreds of the people. Give unto the Lord power, glory, and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. Right? So the point there, you know, and it's going into basically the only one to be praised, the only one to be given glory unto is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Because all of these different heathens, nations, gods are idols. Right? They must needs be born. When you read, was it Jeremiah the 10th chapter? Where it speaks about needs be born, which means to carry. Okay? You know, that's why, you know, they're constantly having to carve these different idols and, you know, ship them to this part of the world, ship them to that part of the world.
Reinvent them and,
you
know,
I was saying earlier on, one of the most common ones, that at least that you see here in the UK at least, is that bloody Buddha head, man. You see bloody head, you be walking past someone's house, because they don't like lace curtain here in the UK. Walk past someone's house and you look inside, right, and you're just seeing, you know, the Buddha head, you know,
some long-eared,
you know.
Yeah, them things, man. I said, this world is full of idols, and Esau just allows it to happen because he's about that life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so as long as he's got everyone worshipping his idols, he's alright. You know, he's alright with everything that goes on, because he just hates the Heavenly Father, and, you know, anything aside from that is alright.
Yeah. So you know, cast my words behind thee. You know. Did you want Wisdom 14 from the top?
Yeah, read from the top. You know, because it outlines exactly what went on, you know, before this time and how everything is kind of how it is now, with all these different religions and all this kind of stuff, right? And that the Lord is proving or showing that these are actual idols. These are literally wood and stone. Like, they don't really exist. It's all in the minds of people, you know, and it has no origin. What we're reading here is the origin of idols, man. You know, which is just carried on today. But the Most High going to reveal himself and show you all that, you know, in person, you know. But yeah, go on.
This is Wisdom 14 from the top. It says, again, one preparing himself to sail and about to pass through the raging waves, calleth upon a piece of wood more rotten than the vessel that carrieth him. For verily desire of gain devised that, and the workman built it by his skill. But thy providence, O Father, governeth it, for thou hast made a way in the sea and a safe path in the waves.
So, like, you know, that would be like the equivalent to like good luck charms. You know, or you got a little trinket, you know, a little necklace or something, your wife gave it to you or whatever. Have a safe journey. Yeah, she gave you the necklace and you had to kiss it, you know, hoping that it's going to help you. It ain't helping you. It ain't going to help you, man. What is going to help you, or what is going to have, you know, decide whether your journey is successful or not, is the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, the one that created all things, right? Where if he says yes, you get to pass. If he says no, you don't. It's as simple as that. But like, at that time, no one knew the Most High.
Yeah.
You know, he even didn't know the Most High, so they couldn't attribute it to any particular thing. They're just thinking, oh yeah, this lucky charm is real, you know, horseshoes and shit, right? Yep.
Wisdom 14.
All these plovers and stuff. You know?
Yeah. Showing that thou can't save from all danger. Yea, though a man went to sea without ark, nevertheless thou wouldest not that the works of thy wisdom should be idle, and therefore do men commit their lives to a small piece of wood, and passing through rough sea in a weak vessel are saved. For in the old time also, when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world governed by thy hand escaped in a weak vessel, and left to all ages a seed of generation.
So that was Noah and the ark, right? And his sons and their wives. Yep.
For blessed is the wood whereby righteousness cometh, but that which is made with hands is cursed. Let me read that again. But that which is made with hands is cursed.
That's right. Things that are not sanctioned by the Heavenly Father. They're not ordained by the Heavenly Father. Noah was told to make that boat.
Yeah.
It was going to be successful what it was for. But you making something of yourself now doesn't give you anything. There's no power in that. You know? Yep.
Yep. So, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. Because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called God. Right? For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto the Most High. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of the Most High they are become an abomination.
Right, in the creature, which is us, right? Their idols defiled us.
Yeah.
We was given to the Heavenly Father to worship, but we end up worshiping all these wooden stone idols that don't really exist, just because the heathen did, like because they believed in it. But they believed in nothing. That's why the Lord told them, like, don't follow the ways of the heathen, because they don't know anything, man. They're really ignorant of what's going on. But I've revealed myself unto you. I've told you the truth. I am that one. I am. He told you I'm that guy, right?
Yeah.
But you know, Jacob been stubborn and hard-headed and fell into the traps of these heathens, man. You know? Yep.
Yeah. It says, for that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation. Oh no, I read that, Slucky.
Yeah, you go.
Verse 12 says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither, which, you know, that verse there is proving, you know, when we say, you know, what fornication really is, speaking about that, you know, going astray to other gods, you know. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vain glory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end.
For the glory of men.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, the son was being glorified by his father. You know, and a lot of rulers did that, the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, set them up to be the sons of God, and because they call themselves God, and he's the son of God, and you know, worship me. They were doing the same thing. You know.
Yes, the next verse is for a father afflicted with an untimely mourning.
So was this not Thomas Hope, who we read about a minute ago? He was in mourning of his son Charles Hope.
Yeah.
You know. Yep.
Yeah, which is especially like looking at his, you know, that individual's history. Right, you got to ask yourself questions like, was that even a natural loss, or was that a?
I was just thinking the same thing. You know, he might have been given up. You know.
That's it. You know, because it did say, you know, Bacchus would come at a young age and all of that crap. So
yeah, because why would you portray your son as Bacchus? What's that got to do with your son?
Exactly.
Something was going on. It sounds fishy to me.
You know.
You know.
It says, for a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child soon taken away, now honoured him as a god.
So they built this mausoleum, right? Like I said, you know, as you would visit, you know, people visit the graves, they'd visit this tomb, and you know, in how many people would go, whatever. Maybe it was a town thing. Who knows how it was operating? But it was built for that purpose.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it was so grand.
Yeah.
It wasn't just you know, a grave with a tombstone, a fancy tombstone. No, it was a whole fucking temple tomb. You know what I'm saying?
Because then, like here in the UK, for instance, you got like different memorials, like the Diana's Memorial. You got Hyde Park.
Yeah.
You know, you can have your toys. Oh, Diana's Memorial, all of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
You know, it says, now honoured him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. You know, you got Serapis Christus, Cesare Borgia, right? It says, thus in the process of time, an ungodly custom grown.
Ungodly customs. What started with just, you know, visiting the grave and, you know, wishing well for his spirit and, you know, passing on, whatever it is, it become like a sick kind of culture. It become a bit twisted. It become like a place of worship now, you know, and it grows. This wicked energy grows, you know. Yep.
That's it. It says, thus in the process of time, an ungodly custom growing strong was kept as a law. And graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
Well, I say kings and rulers would often, you know, enforce things. Like we're gonna, like Esau does. He'll say, "Oh, today is Christmas. It's a holy day, so we're all gonna do this on this day." You know, he will set a day aside for that to take place in remembrance of whatever it is he wants to celebrate. That's what he makes everybody else do. Because none of these days that he celebrates are in the scriptures. To be holy days. He got all his own things going on. He wants you to participate in those days because they're important to him, you know. No, Christmas, Easter, or Valentine's Day, or whatever other day you wanna make up, right? He want you doing that because that's important to him, you know. But the things in the scriptures, he don't want you to even know about it. He doesn't even talk about it. The churches don't even talk about it.
Yeah, to the end, I remember there's, you know, at least on one occasion, you had Christians will come up to the camp when it was in Oxford Circus, and we'd be like, you know, we'd be like, oh, yeah, but you know, Christmas, yeah, but you know, it's just one for the families. Okay, but what about these other, you know, the celebrations and the scriptures? Oh, I don't keep them, whatever, what have you. You know, which, you know, Purim, that's a whole week of giving gifts, man. Why are you gonna celebrate that one demonic ass day, man?
Yeah, well, they don't do the Day of Atonement.
Yeah.
That's probably something that everyone should do. You know what I mean? Because like these people wicked, right? They should be doing something, right? You know, the Passover, right? Which is the main one. The Passover is the main one, but they feign it off as Christmas or something, right? But they don't adhere to these scriptures. The Most High make the days, right? He made the one the scriptures speak about. He maketh one high. He's always one over another, right? Some are holy and some are just regular days, right? The Most High decided all that, but man, Esau in this case, you know, will give you days that he exalts, right? And expects you to celebrate and do whatever when it suits him, right? So it's the same with these idols. It's the same what, you know, the Hope family did with their son and that kind of stuff, and like an unholy custom, you know, is developed, you know. And as I say, that's how idols kind of came into the world, you know, through an unholy custom. So
it says verse 17, whom men could not honor in presence because they dwelt far off.
And this is the reason why they make all the carvings and take with them. You know, so now there's loads of idols now. It's not just in one place, it's not just one idol. Now there's loads of them everywhere. And like everyone's wondering, oh, what's this? They're intrigued. Why who's this? What's this you're carrying around? And man, explain it, tell them legends, you know, tell them stories of things that this person did or whatever. And now he's ascended to to the heavens, and you know, and all this kind of business. And people are like, oh, really? Yeah, you know, and more madness continues from there. More wicked customs go on.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah. And so it says, they took the counterfeit of his visage from far and made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this their forwardness.
Well, it's like you mentioned about the Buddha heads, right? That's over there in Moab land, right? But you'll find them everywhere.
Yeah.
You'll see them everywhere because they made copies and taking them across the world to, you know, to sell, to worship or whatever.
That's it.
You know, that's the example. Yep.
Yeah. It says, to the end that by this their forwardness they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present.
Yeah, trying to appease, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It says, also the singular diligence of the artificer did help to set forward the ignorant to more superstition.
Right. So the craftsman played a big role in, you know, making him look glorious.
Yeah.
Right, and it added to the legend and the vibration of that person. Yeah. Made him look godly, made him seem godly, right? So it makes you believe. We mentioned about the same with the churches. The churches, you know, some of these cathedrals, they look magnificent. It makes you believe that God is actually in this house.
Buildings, yeah.
Because it is mad. It's like all this effort and work, this architecture's gone into it. It's like it's on another level, right? Yeah. But God is not there.
He's not there.
He's never been there. God dwelleth not in temples made of hands. So he is not actually there, but they make it seem like that God is there. That's why, you know, it looks so splendid, because the Lord is dealing with them. There's been money going into it and all that kind of stuff. Because everyone thinks the more money you got, the more God's dealing with you.
Yeah.
That's not really how it works. Yeah, that's right. So it gives that illusion, you know, that God is dealing with them and is there, you know.
Yeah. It says, also, to read that verse 19. For he, peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion. Also, and so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god, which a little before was but honored.
Right. So like I said, it started off with just being, you know, someone that died who might have been respected in his village or town or whatever. So they built this for him and all this kind of stuff. But now he's like a god now.
Yeah.
Because all these stories that was told about him and all the visages and the gold that's you know been you know put to these idols and stuff like that. That now he's like some god.
Yeah.
You know.
And this was an occasion to deceive the world. For men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks the incommunicable name. Right, which in Apostle Aram's gone over that several times. Incommunicable meaning like you've got communicable diseases, i.e. like, you know, a respiratory disease where like you can breathe onto someone and then now they've got it, right? But that's like not with the Most High's name, right? That cannot be transferred onto another individual, right? You know, Yahweh is the only one. You know, what does it say? I am Yahweh and there is none else.
Yep.
Okay, there's no God beside me. It says, verse 22, moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of the Most High, but whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace.
Right, it's the same thing today. People live in great ignorance. Even people that supposedly believe in his Bible don't know the name of the Lord, don't know how to worship the Lord, don't know his Son, don't know the name of the Son. Right, they're still in that war of ignorance, but they think they're enlightened. They think they've learned something from since Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, that somehow they've learned all the lessons that they got wrong, or people got, or you know, the Israelites in the scriptures got wrong, and they think they'll never make those mistakes again because they're so enlightened now with this word, because God is love, right? So they know everything now. But it's quite evident that these Christians don't know nothing really.
Don't know a damn thing.
Don't know a damn thing, right? And so you're in ignorance then.
Yeah.
If you can't even understand or accept that, you know, Jesus is not even a real name, right? The letter J didn't even exist. How could you be using that name when it doesn't even exist back then? You're so ignorant. It's like it's irksome when we talk to you, you know, because you're just so off beat. Off the mark. It's like, what are we talking about? We can't talk with you. What's the point? Don't know enough.
Yeah. So it says, for whilst they slew their children in sacrifices.
So this is why wicked sacrifices came into it. You know, trying to appease their supposed gods because of calamities and stuff like that. these people went mad. The Lord never asked for none of this stuff, but these people made up their own kind of thing that, oh yeah, what we need to do is, you know, burn this dude or kill this one.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, like, they was going off, man.
That's it. It says,
and then we know that it'd be some king or ruler that just wanted to get rid of some people.
Yeah.
Because they didn't agree with the rulership or something. That's the way it would start, you know what I mean? And the next thing you know, that's what they're doing as a custom now.
It's tradition.
You know, it's like bad happens, you just kill a few men.
Yeah, that's it. It's like every year you got to make a honor unto the king.
And you got to keep it up because it's I've started this now, and if I don't keep this, it's gonna like I did it. You know, so, but the God did it. You know.
Oh yeah, no, but that's true because certain kings made themselves onto gods. You know, they would use certain things. I mean, that's why, for instance, you had allegedly, like with the nobleman, right, in England, where basically they had, I forgot the name, but basically they'd make sure that they'd pop, like a man got married, they'd be the ones to pop the woman first. You know, and I was in England, just wickedness, man.
Yeah, people getting drunk off power, man.
Yeah.
You know? Or you go Antiochus Epiphanes was one of those examples, right?
Yeah.
You know, the Most High, you know what the Most High did to him. You know?
Says or used secret ceremonies or made revelings of strange rites. You know, as we read, Bacchus was one of those secret ceremonies, Bacchanalia rather.
Yep.
Right, it says they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled.
You just mentioned.
Yeah, but either one slew another traitorously or grieved him by adultery.
Well, I say even that Bacchus thing was, you know, the orgies and that.
Yeah.
The elites do that as well. You watch Eyes Wide Shut. That's what they be doing in secret.
Yeah.
Right. All these rituals and worship that they be doing is all in secret. A lot of it. In the public, it's disguised as something else. It's disguised as a party or something.
Yeah.
But they know what's going on. Like, we know what's going on, but they know what's going on because they're the ones that orchestrated these things. You know, they leave you in ignorance.
That's it.
Yep.
So it says, so that they reigned in all men without exception, blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury, disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns.
It's envy and strife is the reason, essentially. You know, people just warring each other because of craziness. Because of wickedness was going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Defiling of souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriages, adultery, and shameless uncleanness.
And that is all we have today.
Yeah.
It's like I say, it hasn't stopped. Hasn't stopped from all the way back then. It hasn't stopped. It's only progressed.
Yeah.
You know, and the Most High going to put an end to all of this.
Yes, true.
You know, because this place is well out of order, man. Well out of order.
Yeah.
You know, we're always giving accounts, you know, what's going on at the carnival and that. This place is well out of order, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's sickening. This place is sick.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
For the worshipping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
There we go. That's why it has to come to an end, man.
Yeah.
That's why they can't be like, well, Esau promote free religion. They can't be free religion. This just leads to madness, man.
Yeah.
But Esau's supposed to be the godly man that he portrays himself to be. America, first off, like, they're meant to be God's people and nation and all this kind of business, but they operate on free religion. They got fucking Satanism, like actual Satanism as a religion in their nation. Even though all these religions are Satan, but they actually have one that is supposed to be dedicated to Satan. Like that, why is that even going on? How does that make any sense? All this just leads to strife and wickedness amongst one another. Most are going to set the record straight. When the Lord brings his judgment, he's going to set the record straight. These idols are going to be burnt and forgotten about. And these people, all the people of the earth, right, they're going to worship the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Right? So they're going to know what the deal is, man. They're going to be put in their rightful place. You know? They'll be educated. Okay? By yours truly. You know, by the Israelites, man.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they've been given the glory of the kingdom. Okay? With Yahweh Shai. So we're going to teach the world and show the world how things are supposed to be done.
Yeah.
You know? Any more?
There's 4 more verses.
Okay.
It says, for either they are mad when they be merry, or prophesy lies, or live unjustly, or else lightly forswear themselves. For in so much as their trust is in idols, which have no life, though they swear falsely, yet they look not to be hurt. Howbeit for both causes they shall be justly punished, both because they thought not well of the Most High, giving heed unto idols, and also unjustly swore in deceit, despising holiness. For it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the I'll try that again. For it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the just vengeance of sinners that punisheth always the offense of the ungodly.
So like I said, the Most High got to open up judgment upon all those, man, that, you know, believe in idols. And Jesus Christ is one of those idols, man. You think you're safe with JC? He ain't safe with JC, man. You know, there ain't gonna be no savior coming from those churches, man.
That's it.
You know, there ain't gonna be no Edomite savior or none of that. You know, Buddha ain't gonna come. Muhammad or Allah ain't gonna come. Gandhi, well, not Gandhi, Ganesh, he ain't gonna come. None of these stupid idols are gonna come, man.
That's it.
You know, and the Most are gonna make a point of destroying every nation. That's why the Lord's gonna destroy every. He's proving a point, because no one's gonna step in to save you. There's only one power, and you're gonna understand that when no one's getting help, no one's being helped, just the Israelites.
That's it.
Right. So that's another reason why the Lord is just saving the Israelites. You know, even just take us out of the equation for the moment. The Lord's going to show all these nations there's only one God.
Yeah.
You know? Because all you nations worship idols. There's not one people, you know, apart from the Israelites. We don't have a nation, though. We don't have a country. Right? We're the only ones that believe in the Heavenly Father.
Yeah. If I can say any Egyptian right after the fact, it was like, look, man. Yeah. Our Magi's, they weren't on it.
They weren't the ones.
They weren't the ones.
You know?
That's right. They sold us a dream. You know, they sold us what was it? Whoop tickets, man. You know, I was like, but hey, that go to Israel, yo.
Yeah, well, Egypt were made to look stupid, man. Because Egypt got tons of gods.
Yeah.
Not one of them helped them. It's not like one was on vacation or something. None of them came. Not one of them came to help them. Not at one moment in time. Yeah, and every plague was something to do with a God that was supposed to manage that. And the Most High just showed them up. Because they don't exist.
That's it.
You know? Because all these other nations should be giving thanks to the idol, when they really should be giving thanks for the Heavenly Father.
That's it.
Because He's the one that gave them the crops and the food and whatever, you know, whatever it is they needed. The Lord did that. Not because He loved them, it's just, you know, it's just what the Lord does. You know? But it's the Lord that did it. Yahweh did that. So He wants His respect, and He's gonna get it in the day of wrath. You know? So
soon.
It's soon. You know, like I said, we can't wait for that.
Yeah.
You know? But again, it was just something, you know, interesting we found on the travel we was on today. So, you know, Lord willing, that was edifying.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, that's it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah. So yeah, until next time, we're gonna say all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chakwadash. You know, we catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So next time I say shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.